Maybe you want to go take a look, for example, at your investment portfolio and find out what companies is your money invested in those index funds. Are those companies doing things in the world that you agree with? Are those companies doing things that are really aligned with your values, or are they not? And if they're not, that's a financial leak. Welcome to Plenty. I'm your host, Kate Northrup, and together we are going on a journey to help you have an incredible relationship with money, time, and energy, and to have abundance on every possible level. Every week, we're going to dive in with experts and insights to help you unlock a life of plenty. Let's go fill our cups. Hello, and welcome to episode number 5 in a series we are doing about feeling good with money, being good with money, and doing good with money. So, we've been a lot of places and spaces so far. If you're just tuning in now for the first time, that's great. You can go back and listen to the other ones, and we have 2 more episodes coming up next. For today, we are talking about aligned wealth and creating luxury in your life without sacrificing your long-term goals and without sacrificing your desire to also live richly in the now. So, one of the things that I've been talking about for a long time is making your spending a prayer. What do I mean by that? Well, money acts as fertilizer in the world, and what it touches, it enhances. What money touches grows. So if money is touching a system and a business that is toxic, chemically toxic for people's bodies, toxic for people's lives, money going over there is only going to enhance the impact of that business. But simultaneously, if you add more money to an organization like Charity Water, for example, that builds wells all over the world so that people can have access to fresh water, then money is going to enhance and fertilize all the beauty and all the health and the livelihood that is created from that kind of work. So we can make our spending a prayer, not only for what we want more of in the world, but also for what we want more of in our own lives. And for a long time, I've been talking about aligning our spending with what truly matters to us. Now, what truly matters to us is super individual. Just like there are no 2 fingerprints that are exactly the same, there are no 2 humans who have the same wealth blueprint. What makes me feel really wealthy is going to be different from what makes you feel really wealthy. For example, my husband is really into soccer, not playing, watching. So since we moved to Miami, he's been super into Inter Miami, and then Messi came here and it's been like a whole thing. He's a seasons ticket holder with Inter Miami. It's like a whole thing for him, and it has added so much vitality and joy and community and aliveness to his life. I really could give 2 shits about soccer. I mean, like, I'll watch a game every now and again and be vaguely interested, and I will go to 1 game with him per season. But for him, the enthusiasm and the possibility and the joy that comes through being involved in the Inter Miami community. He's also part of the supporters group. So sometimes he goes and sits with them in the bleachers and sings the songs. And of course, they're all speaking Spanish. He has no idea what's going on, but he loves the whole thing. Now, that's an example of wealth blueprint individuality. I don't care about soccer, but I care about Mike. So I participate like a little bit. I, on the other hand, love going to dance class. Going to dance class to me brings me so much joy. It brings me so much aliveness. It reminds me who I am. I feel the most myself when I'm there, like nailing the choreography, having so much fun, fully present in the moment. Mike does not go to dance class. He does not want to go to dance class. That's not something he's going to want to do. And so our versions of what money is for are different. Now, a lot of them are overlapping. Of course, we're married, and generally speaking, marriage works better if you marry somebody whose values are somewhat aligned with yours. But it doesn't mean they have to be completely aligned with yours. But all of that to say, what happens in society because of programming and because of the fact that when we're watching any kind of news or television or media or reading, we are in more of a hypnotic state. So when we are consuming media, we literally are in a brainwave state that makes us super suggestible. And it starts at an early age with kids watching advertisements, watching shows that begin to show them that it's important to buy certain things in order to be a certain way, in order to be socially celebrated, in order to be worthy, in order to be all of these things. And so our financial lives get so intermingled with societal ideals that are really wrapped up in corporations making money off of continuing to create a desire for things in the general populace, us, that like we may or may not actually need, and quite frankly, we may or may not actually in our heart of hearts, like on a soul level, we may or may not actually want those things either. I have a dear friend. She is deeply sustainability oriented, and she focuses on having a capsule wardrobe for every season with about 12 items in it that she can just wear over and over again in different combinations because A, it's good for the environment, and B, it creates a lot of ease and flow and minimal friction in her life. That really works for her. That's a version of wealth for her. I have another friend who only has 3 outfits total. He has one version of the outfit for exercise and casual, one version outfit for like going out to lunch, and a third for something fancier like a speaking gig or going to the theater. He literally only wears 3 different outfits, and then he just buys multiples of the same outfit. So he has enough of them for doing laundry in between. That's their versions of wealth. That would really not work for me. As soon as I've worn something, I basically like want to be done with it. I don't really even ever really want to wear it again, unless it's like my favorite jeans, right? So that's why I do Rent the Runway, so that I can have variety at all times. So we all get to be who we are. What I'm saying is, what matters to you, what turns you on, what makes you come alive is beautiful. It is worthy, it is valid, but it is going to be different than other people. And there's so much societal noise. There's so much social pressure to look a certain way, to be a certain way, to look and be and buy like other people because of the media, because, social media, traditional media, all the things, that we can lose track of who we really are. We can lose track of what really matters to us. So before we even begin to ask the question, what matters to you, we have to cut through a lot of conditioning and a lot of layering of brainwashing that makes us think, oh, I need to have a fancy car. Oh, I need to have a bigger house. Oh, I need to be able to go on this trip or that trip. I need to buy the designer handbag. I need to eat out at these restaurants. And all of those things are great. I love all of those things too. But we can prioritize in the order of what makes us come alive personally and hold that as beautiful and a sacred reflection of who we are as individuals. Inside Relax Money, we do a proprietary process that I've developed over the years, over a decade, that helps people to really zero in on what matters to them. So we won't go through that right now because it's inside the program. But for you, I just want you to begin to ask yourself, what matters to me? And then the invitation is to make your spending, to make the way you organize your financial life a reflection of what truly matters to you. Because when you do that, that's when you begin to create aligned wealth, so that you're making money in a way that feels in integrity, that's aligned with your values, so that you are spending money in a way that feels in integrity and aligned with your values, so that you are investing money in that way, and so that you are giving money in that way. And getting all that alignment takes time, right? Maybe you want to go take a look, for example, at your investment portfolio and find out what companies is your money invested in those index funds. Are those companies doing things in the world that you agree with? Are those companies doing things that are really aligned with your values, or are they not? And if they're not, that's a financial leak. That's an energetic financial leak where money is actually coming into you and then going towards something that you don't agree with. And when we clean that up, when we plug up all those financial leaks, we end up increasing the potency and the power of our financial resources. Now, the other really cool thing is when we begin to align our financial life with what truly matters to us, we don't need to spend as much money in order to get the same or more bang for our buck, right? So let's say I have like, $500 to spend in a month on entertainment, and I spend that $500 on going to professional soccer games. Right? Back to my original example, versus I have $500 to spend and I go buy myself a ticket to a Tony Award winning Broadway show. I am going to have significantly more of an experience of wealth and richness, which is essentially the feeling of being optimally alive, if I go to that Broadway show than if I go to the soccer game. Right? Now, of course, it depends on who I'm going to the soccer game with. And if it's my one game of the season with my husband, we make a date night of it. It's really fun. But I think you see my point. This really gets potent and important when we begin to look at our spending. And one of the things that we do inside Relax Money is we, in a loving, conscious, pleasure-filled way, bring consciousness to our spending and to every other area of our financial life, because what we put our attention on grows. And when we put our loving attention on our money, our wealth tends to grow. And one of the factors we bring in is, am I aligning my money with my values? And when you do, you get more bang for your buck, and you are able to spend less money while getting a bigger return on investment. The other thing is, money wants to go towards that which is aligned. The true soul of money, if you've read The Soul of Money by Lynn Twist, it was so cool when I read that book, because there's a whole segment on that the soul of money energetically wants to be aligned with what truly matters to us, wants to be aligned with what makes the world a better place. Now, I've been talking about that for over a decade. I wrote about it in my first book, Money, a Love Story, in 2013, but I didn't read The Soul of Money until last year. And it was so cool that one of these critical books in the canon of, prosperity consciousness by Lynn Twist, who's like such an OG, she's such a goddess, said the same thing. And every time that happens, when I read an incredible book or listen to an incredible teacher who is saying the same thing that I have been saying for a long time as well, I know it's true. And I get really excited about it. So ultimately, the take-home message today is, if you can align your spending, investing, earning and giving with what truly matters to you, that is what money wants. And money will come to you because it can feel the resonance of your integrity. It can feel that your soul is aligned with your choices, and that is magnetic. And when you do that, you experience luxury without sacrificing your long-term goals of becoming work optional, buying a house, whatever you may be saving up for over time gets to happen faster while still enjoying the present moment, right? So for example, one of the things that I've talked about before is I tend to walk a lot in our life. I don't spend a ton of time in the car. We've organized our life so that I can walk from where we live to drop the kids off at school, and then I can walk to the office and walk back. So there are many days that I do not get in a car at all. So spending money on a luxury vehicle has not been a priority in my life because it wouldn't give me a whole bunch of bang for my buck. But spending money on first class air travel, or spending money on luxurious meals out with friends or a spa day is absolutely a priority for me. So because I make those choices consciously, I am at choice, I am in my agency with my financial sovereignty, I am able to experience the return on investment of spending money on a Broadway show or a spa day with friends. I'm not spending money driving a luxury car or like buying $3,000 handbags because it just doesn't matter to me that much. And as a result, my life feels incredibly rich because my choices are aligned with my values. My choices are aligned with what matters to me. My spending is a prayer. So I hope that's helpful. This was episode number 5 in our 7-part series. The next one I have coming for you is number 6, and it is about feminine energy and the feminine energy of financial leadership. So if you've been wondering how to engage with your money in a way that feels luscious and juicy and like you get to stay in your feminine surrender and receptivity, then this episode is going to be for you. So I'll see you next time. Once a year, I teach a money workshop that is an absolute game changer for ambitious humans who are ready to not only make good money, which they may already do, but also to feel good with money, be good with money, and do good with money. So if that's you, if you are ready to heal your relationship with money, if you're ready to have rock solid financial systems that allow you to feel held and receptive and in flow, and if you are ready to unlock the abundance that really wants to pour into your life, join me for Good with Money. This only happens once a year, and you can reserve your spot over at katenorthrup.com/good. This is your time. Your financial power and ease await. Join us at katenorthrup.com/good.